welcome back to my channel. As you can tell from the title here, this is my 3-month update from quitting my 9-to-5 job. I'm going to be talking a little bit about that, and then I've been talking a lot about doing a video about burnout. So yeah, let's dive into that. Now, I didn't prep any notes for this because I don't want to stick to a script. I don't want to stick to a piece of paper and feel like I have to go down the list. I feel like it's more organic when I just talk at the camera like I'm talking to somebody on the other side of the screen. I don't want to seem like a Debbie Downer in this video because there are a lot of negative emotions that I'm working through. However, I think that there are a lot of people that can relate to me and somebody might find comfort in this video. I quit my job 3 months ago. By the time you're watching this video, it'll mark the 3-month mark that I have been unemployed and self-employed. I do have an art business. I sell handmade jewelry and I sell paintings, as you can see in the back here. I do have a few different print options available, so that's kind of like my side hustle. Right now I'm gearing up to do art markets. I signed up for about 13 of them. I'm waiting to hear back on 2. And if I get into those 2, it'll be a weekly thing, so I'll probably have about 10 more shows or so. So it's going to be a very busy summer. If you're new here, welcome. The reason I quit my job was because I was extremely burnt out. I held on until I couldn't anymore. Mentally, for sure, I couldn't work there anymore. It was very demanding. There was a lack of support, and I'm not downgrading the company or anything. It's just the fact of the reality is that was the truth. I was kind of alone on an island by myself trying to sort through a bunch of issues, and I was the good employee. I was the person that kept my head down. I kept working, and I just kept telling myself that things were going to get better, and they just didn't. It took me a year and a half to really quit my job. I talk about this every once in a while. I don't really talk a lot about my spirituality because I don't want to feel like I'm pushing stuff onto people, but I heard God tell me that I needed to quit my job a year and a half ago, and I know to some people that's gonna sound crazy, but the more that time passed on, the more I knew it was relevant that I needed to do this, because I heard and I felt in my soul, my mind, body, and spirit that if I didn't quit this job, I was gonna get ill some way, somehow. And given the fact that I've gone through so many issues already with like my physical and mental health and stuff like that, I couldn't take on another thing. I couldn't add it to the list. Yeah, like I said, it took me a year and a half to quit this job. I think the biggest feeling that I struggled with was guilt. Guilt of not being, I don't know, I feel like there's this judgment around people who don't have a job, people who want to be entrepreneurs. I think that society views you as lazy if you don't have a 9-to-5, if you do have a side hustle, or if you're taking a leap of blind faith and you're actually going for your goals. People really don't want to see you do that because you're kind of surfacing their insecurities and reminding them of the chances that they didn't take in life. And I know that that sounds very vague, but it's the simple God's honest truth of the matter. And throughout this journey, it's been very lonely. It's been a lonely ride. I know of one other person in my life that is, well, I guess 2 I could say, because my dad did too. He quit his job, but he was actually doing very well for himself and his business before he quit his job. My friend Tara, you've seen in some of my videos, she took a leap of blind faith and started a coffee truck, and I'm more than proud of her, and she's the only person in my life that I know personally that has taken the leap, so she gets it. But I want to talk about how lonely this journey has been, and I don't want to talk full negatives about it because there are a lot of positives that are involved. This is the break that I asked for. This is the break that I so desperately needed because I was not okay. I was isolating myself towards the end there. It got really dark. It got very bad. And I'm not saying that to be dramatic. I'm saying it because I was worried about me. I didn't want to socialize. I had a hard time connecting with people. I was isolating myself. I wasn't leaving the house, and there was a point where I would turn my phone off or put it on Do Not Disturb more than half the day because I just couldn't handle talking to people outside of my job. This burnout didn't come just from my job. I know that part of it I do take responsibility for was I wanted out of that job so bad. I was pushing my art and I was creating content and I was making, like, I was doing my 9-to-5, I was doing my art business, I was doing art markets, I was posting on social media, I was creating TikToks, I started this YouTube channel. Back in October, I had excision surgery of endometriosis. If you're not familiar with that is, basically it's like uterine tissue that grows outside of the uterus. It causes a lot of pain during your monthly cycle. I'm not really going to go down in the specifics of that right now because that's not the point of this video, but I just went through so much. And I really felt like I needed a break. Like I knew when I took that month off work and I went back to work and I didn't even miss it, I knew that I needed to make a change in my life. And I have had a plan B my entire life, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna jump out of this job and I'm gonna go full blown into my business. Like, I finally made up my mind, and to this day I still have guilt surfaced around my choices. And it's nothing that I feel like I did wrong, so to speak. I think that the guilt comes from the judgment of other people around me. The, raised eyebrows, like, there's this stigmatism about quitting your job. People just automatically assume you're on welfare. Now, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but that's not the case here. I built up a savings and I didn't know how I was gonna make ends meet, and I was like, all right, so that savings will last me 3 months or so, and I'm to the 3-month mark. And you might be asking me, Tyler, how the hell are you affording this right now? I cashed out my retirement. Do I recommend that for everybody? No, but I wanna follow my dreams, and I believe in this thing so much. I know something's gonna pan out. Today is April 21st, 2024, and I hit 452 subscribers now. That's the number that I'm at. It's taken me about I started posting in September of 2023, or August, I think, was my first video. No, my first video back was July 23rd, 2023, but I started consistently posting back in October of 2023. I had 57 subscribers at the time, so October, November, December, January, February, March, April. I've been posting consistently for 7 months, so I've been putting in the work here. I've been hustling, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I've had this channel, I've been consistently posting for 7 months. I quit my job 3 months ago. I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. I'm just doing whatever I can. So back to having the plan B. I think the issue with that was, it's not bad having a plan B, and everybody has their own beliefs. This is just my 2 cents. This is just what I believe in, and this is my opinion. But I feel like when I had the plan B, like say I wanted to fulfill my dreams of being a full-time artist or creator of some sorts, whether it's through art sales, whether it's on my website, whether it's through YouTube, all these different streams of income. This is kind of my idea. I was pouring my energy into a 9-to-5 job that sucked the life out of me, and I absolutely hated it. I was not happy. In these 3 months, it's really given me this time of a rest period. I don't know how to put this, but I'm really struggling with feeling like I'm not doing enough, feeling like I'm not accomplishing enough, and I get in my head and I beat myself up and I'm like, gosh, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. Lo and behold, I'll spend 12 hours in a day painting and I still feel like I don't do enough. And I'm still struggling with these feelings of depression, because I feel like even Pastor Steve was talking about this today at church, and it was crazy because my videos leading up to today's service, just like, I felt like God was really talking to me. And Pastor Steve today was talking about being content with what you have, and this is what I was speaking about, like in my Texas vlog, and just being grateful for the things that I have now, being grateful for this rest period. And I feel this pressure from the world and from society and the expectations of the people in my life, that I just feel this overwhelming sense of feeling like I'm not doing enough. And I've even found myself retreating from a lot of people still. I'm still recovering from that, and I'm still recovering from burnout. I'll sleep 10 or 8 hours a night, and then I'll take a nap during the day, and I'm still so exhausted, and I've really been battling depression really bad. And I'm doing all the right things. I'm drinking water, I'm eating healthy, I'm exercising, and it's like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's almost like this big weighted blanket. You ever feel one of those weighted blankets? That's what it feels like. I could just have this heavy feeling inside of me, and I just feel so tired all the freaking time. And I beat myself up for a lot of things, and I'm trying to, like, it's like this battle in my mind of trying to be grateful for what I have and for this rest period, and feeling like I'm not far enough ahead, feeling like I'm not accomplishing or achieving enough, because I'm pouring all of this energy into this YouTube channel, and I know one day things are gonna work out. I just don't know when. And I think that that's a lot of times what we get hung up on, is we get hung up on the timing. When is this gonna happen? We lose patience with God, and we lose patience within ourselves. I need to remind myself that I'm not a punching bag. I'm just human, and it's okay to rest. And it's something that I wrestle with every day. But yeah, getting back to Pastor Steve's message, there's a verse in the Bible. It was in the chapter of Philippians, and I'm not gonna get super in depth with that, but basically it was just like having gratitude for what we have now, because what is the wealth that we have in our life right now? And this is what I've asked for. I wanted time and I wanted rest, and I'm getting it, and I don't know why I'm not comfortable with that. I don't know if it's because kind of back things up a little bit, and I hate to keep bringing this up, but when I was 18, I lost my mom to suicide, and I feel like in these 11 years, I have been just full blown, like, going for things, just go, 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 never slowing down, always working my ass off, always burning myself out. And it took me to get to this place of I finally had enough and I said fuck it and I quit because I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't take one more thing. I couldn't take one more shitty comment from a coworker. I couldn't take anymore. I had enough. That's what it takes for me to move, is frustration. And I had like this resistance of, oh, let me hold on to this, I'm gonna cradle this baby, blah blah blah. And I put my worth so much into my job that I forgot who my provider was. It's God. Will I have to get another job someday? I don't know. I'm just seeing how things go. I've set myself up, but these 3 months have been very eye-opening for sure. I'm still really struggling with isolation. I'm still really struggling with connecting with people because I don't feel like a lot of people really understand where I'm coming from. Being a good listener, this is a little off topic, but I'm probably gonna get a little bit deep here. One of the things that I've really been struggling with, and one of the things that I've really been battling with, is not feeling heard, not feeling seen. And I know that in time I'll be seen. There are people on here, if you're watching. I know there's a few of you that leave comments, and I can't explain. Sorry. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. It's not sadness, it's happiness. I can't explain how much your kindness means, how much the uplifting comments mean, and to know that you're there and that you're watching, and like that just means a lot. I think this whole feeling of not feeling good enough and this sense of lack of purpose is coming from pouring all this energy into paintings and not selling them. And I know I talk about knowing your worth and stuff, but I struggle with that. You spend 30, 40 hours on a painting and somebody wants to give you $100 or $200, sometimes even 20 bucks, and it's like, I would rather hang it up and enjoy it for myself. And how am I trying to say this? I'm in this weird in-between stage where I know my worth and I know what my stuff is worth, and feeling like people don't appreciate it. I quit my job, and it's not bad things that have happened, but I just keep hitting roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. Like, I had the whole shadow banning on TikTok thing. There was this painting that I made, and it was an hourglass with a ship inside of it, and I cut out all these little pieces of doodles I had on the side of my work notebook, and I did like a voiceover. I spent over an hour editing this video, not to mention I spent probably 40 hours on this painting, and they shadow banned me. And I was like, maybe it's in my head, giving it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I was overthinking something. And I knew in my intuition, and I know I should never second guess it, but I was like, yeah, they're shadow banning me. And I tried posting it 5 or 6 times, and sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I'm just explaining the matter to people that are new here. I ended up posting it again, and it wasn't going through the algorithm, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna delete it. Screw it. I'll post it in a week and a half when the shadow ban is lifted. I didn't even do anything wrong in my eyes. I was just telling my experience and what I was going through. Being honest. People are afraid of vulnerability. So I go to delete it, and this pop-up comes up, and it goes, something about that I violated community guidelines. And I'm like, are you shitting me? I've been on TikTok posting consistently for like 5 years. I've pulled a lot of my energy back because I got really sick of it, like the shadow banning and not putting my stuff out into the algorithm. And I know I'm not the best painter in the world, but come on, man. Like, I quit my job, my life's out on the line for this, and this is like supposed to be my livelihood, being creative, talking about mental health awareness. The reason why I make paintings is to bring awareness for the shit that goes on in my head. It's the stuff that I'm struggling with. I'm putting my emotion into paintings, and for the longest time I beat myself up, and I still find myself guilty of this, beating myself up for being who I am. And I think a lot of that comes from not being accepted from others. Kind of getting back to one of the points I was making earlier, sorry ADHD brain here, but people talking over me, not listening, just calling me to vent and dump their shit on me. And it's like, I feel like my heart was kind of hardened, and I still feel kind of like it is. And quitting my job is very personal, and that took a lot for me to do because since I was 14 years old, I've had a job. I've worked my ass off my entire life. I went through loss, I went through physical injuries, I went through surgery, I went through not wanting to be here anymore, and I went through so much. And I know that this is the stuff that's gonna make the biggest stories, but I'm still struggling. I'm still having a hard time with life. I'm still having a hard time being around people. I've been in this isolation period for so long. I feel like there's a part of me that's not me anymore because people have stepped on it. Or they put, it's kind of like you have, here we go. For instance, here's a string, right? This is all I got right now. I could use my phone, but this is me, right? This is how I feel. And this is what people are doing. So then I get silent and I stop talking. And that's what I've done. And it came from speaking up at work and stuff not being done about certain things. It came from speaking up about mental health and people not liking my posts because maybe they thought I was being dramatic, but I was sharing my story. And the reason I'm so vulnerable in my videos and the reason why I'm so vulnerable in my posts is because I know what it's like to feel like nobody cares. I know what it's like to be in the dark. I know what it's like to feel like nobody's listening to you. I know what it's like to lose your best friend, the one person that got you, and they're ripped away from you. I know what all of that's like. This is why I do what I do. This is why I quit my job, because I know that there's a better life out there for me, and I'm not gonna settle for breadcrumbs. And people might think I'm egotistic. People might think that I'm, what's the word for it, privileged or wanting handouts for things. That's not the case. I work very hard at what I do. I'm recovering from this burnout and I'm still feeling like I'm not doing enough. I'm allowing myself to rest, but then when I'm resting, I'm beat myself up because I'm like, oh, I'm a POS and I should be doing this or that. And I have to stop myself and catch myself and be like, it's okay, you can rest. But then when I sit too long and I'm like, stagnant for too long, I get down in the dumps and I start thinking of why, reasons why I'm not good enough. And it's still something that I'm working on. And I'm not a victim, I know that, but it's the truth. It came from years of people dimming my light, people trying to tell me how to act. I swear a lot and I go to church, but I'm not gonna cover up who I am. I'm not gonna filter myself out anymore because I've done that my entire life and I'm fucking sick of it. I'm sick and tired of pretending to be somebody I'm not, because I know who I am and I think I'm pretty great. And if other people don't like it, then they don't have to. I mean, that's fine, because people are gonna have an opinion regardless. I found it in the last few weeks where people are correcting me when I speak, so then I get quiet and it's like, this is why I don't say shit. Of course I'm a good listener. I'm a good listener until it's time for somebody to be there for me. And I know it's not always personal. If you're watching this video, I kind of made a lot of different points and maybe I rambled a little bit too long. But if there's somebody in your life and they're struggling and they want to talk about something, I'm not saying like if they're constantly negative and wanting to drag you down and gossiping about people, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if there's somebody who wants to share their heart with you, take the time to listen to them. You don't know how much it means. So yeah, this is update 3 months of recovering from burnout, and I'm still struggling with irritability, isolation, depression, all of that stuff. But I do know one thing, and I know that I'm trying my best. I'm trying my hardest, and I'm working as hard as I can at making this dream work. So if you see this video today and you're burnt out, it's okay to take the time to rest. And I hope you found comfort in this, and I hope that a stranger on the internet made you feel a little bit less alone. And I hope you know how important you are. And I hope that you know that your impact will make a difference in this world. And if there's people in your life who tell you can't do something, this is your sign to prove them wrong. And it's time to be a wallflower and stand out of the crowd and do things that are courageous and brave. And when you get there, they'll second guess their judgments on you. Anyway, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and if you made it to the end of this long video, I hope you have a great rest of your week. Peace out.